Good morning. It's still morning. I'm here with little Cuspiticus. Say hi to everybody, Bit. And we're going to try something a little different today. I'm going to look at some news headlines. We're going to talk about how ridiculous the news industry is today. I was sitting here having my tea. If you want to find out why I'm drinking tea instead of coffee, you're going to need to look at this morning's coffee with all, which is a special tea with all edition, and you'll find out. I think we're going to call this ranting with Ald. So what I want to do is, I used to look at my news, I used to devour the news, and then 2016 came, 2015, and all of a sudden the news page was all Trump. And I'm not an anti-Trumper. People are people, man. He's got some issues, so does everybody else. But here we go. Let's get into this so you get an idea. I'm just going to read the headlines, and we're going to talk about how ridiculous it is. And I'd love to hear your comments, your opinions on what we're talking about. So, I'm looking at Ross' story right now. Top news. Trump could use faulty polling to sow chaos and violence when he loses. Ex-senator. Yeah, anybody. Okay? And that's not right, but it's also kind of on the fault of the people that are doing faulty polling. U.S. Supreme Court skeptical of restrictions on abortion bill. Thank God. Ex-60 Minutes reporter unleashes bizarre Baltimore Bridge conspiracy. That's actually trending number one. Conspiracy theories seem to be the thing. And it's not that there's not truth to them, it's that most of them are just so ridiculous. And it's obvious. I hate to say this, the bridge isn't a conspiracy because it ends up it is. I'm going to look stupid, but that's okay. I've looked stupid a lot in the past, and I'm sure I will look stupid a lot in the future. Unfortunately, U.S. sculptor Richard Serra, known for powering minimalism, has died at 85. God rest his soul. Faith, wisdom, in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. These people have kids. Experts shocked lawyers will work for Trump after latest threat. I'm going to assume that those experts have never met a lawyer before. Small nuclear reactors may be coming to Texas, boosted by interest from Governor Abbott. Good. Good. We need small, safe nuclear reactors. We're doing a pretty good job. My generation and the generation before me have done an excellent job of destroying the planet. Sorry about that, guys. Maybe it's time we took a little responsibility and started looking at, I'm going to go one step further. It's time we step down and let the younger generation take off over controlling this nation. That is definitely how I feel about that. Nothing against you, Governor Abbott, but it's time for some fresh ideas. You had one, a younger person would have. Let's see. Not the actions of a wealthy man. CNN panel roast Trump for Bible hawking stunt. You know what? If you have an issue with Donald Trump selling Bibles for $60 a piece, don't buy one. RFK Jr. names wealthy lawyer as running mate for U.S. presidential bid. That's actually some news that probably needs to be out there. Is that the second story we've run into really that was necessary for us to know? Man dies after being pushed onto New York subway tracks. Beyonce album highlights the black women changing country music. That is important. You go Beyonce. Excellent. Speaks volumes. Legal experts directly accuse SCOTUS of favoring Trump over rule of law. If you can't honestly look at the cases against Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump, respect to the office. If you honestly can't look at those and see how complicated they are, and the fact that the man's running for president and you can't, I mean, you know, he's claiming that it's election interference. And I'm not going to say it is or it isn't. Could be, probably isn't, it could be. Yeah, I question why it took 4 years to get him into court, but who cares? This is a really windy road that the Supreme Court has to go on. And yeah, you're going to hear a completely different rant if they say that he has immunity, by the way. California looks to Europe to rein in AI. I have faith in God. Let's let AI run wild. Rare exhibition for revolutionary sculpture Brancusi in Paris. I'm not familiar with Brancusi. I like the idea of a revolutionary sculptor. I will probably open that and the one for the sculptor Richard Serra, who I'm also not familiar with, just out of interest later after this video. This is just for the headlines. Trump mocks Rona McDaniel as she's ousted from NBC News gig. I'm not going to comment on Rona McDaniel. I'm not going to comment on her beliefs. I'm not going to comment on the fact that I've been hired. I actually had a job where I was hired in the same day I was let go, and it wasn't because I did a bad job. The guy told me how good a job I did that day. It was that right after I showed up for the job and was hired, someone with more experience showed up for the job and was hired. I have no idea whether that turned out to be a good thing for the farmer or not. It was farm work, but it was pretty upsetting. It did not make me happy at all. The situation was, the reason for it was, excuse me, this is turning into a coughing with Alt again. The reason for it was because I had 2 other job interviews that day. This had been an early one, and he had said, well, if you're ready to go to work, you can have the job and start right now. So I canceled the 2. Okay, I just didn't go to it. I'm not good at canceling. I just don't show. So yeah, I know what it feels like to be hired and then fired immediately, and yeah, it sucks. Okay, it's not a good feeling. It's not a pleasant thing to do, and I do not believe that is something that God smiles on. But I also don't know because I don't want to speak for God, but what I think really bothers me is the word mocks. I see a lot of that going on. Can people be adults for a change? Can we have civilized conversations about these issues instead of making fun of each other? You know, we don't need to make up little stupid nicknames for each other. Sleepy Joe, poor Trump. Just stop. Rare exhibition for revolutionary, oh, we did that one. Diddy lawyers condemn federal ambush on U.S. rappers' homes. I don't know what's going on with Diddy. I really don't. Not sure it's my business. I don't know Diddy, and as far as I know, I don't know anybody who knows Diddy or who was allegedly harmed by Diddy. But what I do know is every time that the police raid a place, it's an ambush, it's wrong, overstepping, etc. Trump demands NBC fire Chuck Todd in retribution for dropping Rona McDaniel. Trump just got $5 billion. He should look into buying NBC, and then he can fire whoever he wants. In fact, he was firing people for NBC back in the 90s and zeros, so, I mean, you got that. How a billionaire's privilege is taking down our republic. That's an opinion piece. It's also a paywall on that one. But I can bet I know which billionaire that one's about. And you know what? You don't get to take down our republic unless we let you. There are 320 million Americans out there, and you're telling me that one man has all this power to take. Nah, you got to agree with it. Hitler didn't take over, and I'm not saying Trump's Hitler. That was really a bad example on my part. Apologize for it. The truth of the matter is no dictator has ever taken over a country without at least a percentage of the population behind him. It's my own ID. Presidential candidate, literally anybody else explains legal name change. I actually saw this story somewhere else, but apparently he changed his name to literally anybody else, and he's running for president. And to be honest, I'd vote for him just for the name. A criminologist explains why Judge Cannon must step away from Trump trial immediately. You know what? If Judge Cannon was doing such a god-awful job, the appeals court would have heard about it because the prosecutors would have put in for appeals. And she'd been taken off the case. So when she does something that needs, that legitimately is a take-off the case thing, then let's worry about it. Let's let the prosecutor worry about it. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. Right? I'm going to remind people of this. I keep hearing about how Trump's lawyers suck. I'm going to remind some people about this. Granted, it's not the big thing, but they graduated college, okay? These aren't stupid people, all right? They're not. And if you treat them with like they're stupid people, what ends up is that you're going to be surprised in not a pleasant way, okay? These are intelligent people, all right? And, all right, what do we got next? Big stories section. These are the big stories according to Ross. Trump Bible sale could give churches a sneaky way past campaign finance laws. DC Insider, I think we saw that one. You know what? I'm going to stop and I'm going to switch because we're starting to repeat stories. And, well, let's see if we can find a couple more new ones. Container ship that destroyed Baltimore Bridge has a troubled history. That's important, in my opinion. Let's remember this is all in my opinion. But that is important. That's important so that people can act on it and say we need safer bridges. I don't know. I heard someone somewhere say something about infrastructure. Congress wants to impress me. They'd pass a huge infrastructure bill, and I'm talking about something along the lines of the federal highway bill that Eisenhower got through. It's about time we had another Eisenhower. I don't have any personal issues with Biden or Trump, but I like Ike. Rachel Maddow reacts to Ronna McDaniel's ouster at NBC News. Rachel, I'm going to tell you something. I love you, girl. I really do. You're interesting. You present stuff with factual, you present so much factual data. Everything I've seen that you put out was well thought out. You're very impressive, Miss Maddow. Now I'm going to tell you, I would be highly upset if one of my coworkers was to react the way that MSNBC reacted towards another coworker and got them fired. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit right there. Good morning, Alec. One of my sons by another father just came down from his bedroom and he's taking his trash out. And it's only a Wednesday. Trash runs on Friday. I don't know what's going on because usually it's Saturday when he takes it. That I don't know if you got a shot from him in the video, but I love you too, Alex. Alex is one of the great people I know, and I am surrounded by some wonderful, loving people who care about me, and Alex is definitely one of them. Okay, Fox News guest quietly taken. Oh, and he's a staunch Republican. Fox News guest quietly taken off the air after saying black people love sneakers. Report. White people love sneakers. Yellow people love sneakers. Red people love sneakers. Okay? Green aliens love sneakers. Sneakers are great. All right? You give me a choice between boots, sneakers, and sandals, I will choose sneakers every time. Okay? Now, to point out that black people love sneakers, yeah, that's racist, and there ain't no question about it, all right? It's racially insensitive, it's racially stereotyping, and whatever. You know, you take the people, quietly taken off the air. You know what? I'm betting he'll be guesting again somewhere. Okay? Educate him. Take him off the air. Look at him and say, "You're a racist, dude. That was racist. Why are you saying that?" All right? If we call people on it with love, that wasn't exactly loving the way I just said it, but if we call people on it with love, there's no way you don't accomplish more than just making them disappear. Okay? I know we all want people that disagree with us to just stop and go away. But the fact of the matter is that some of them are right. Some of them are wrong. And if you don't talk to them the right way, show them problem. Carrie Lake declares she's giving up fight against defamation lawsuit. I have no idea. I care less about Carrie Lake. She's in Arizona. I'm in Delaware. Honestly, if the people of Arizona have a problem with Carrie Lake, they will not elect her as a senator. I think she's running for senator. As a senator. Okay, none of that is true, James Comer fact-checked over letter begging for cash. Okay, a politician lied in a letter asking for people to donate. It's the end times. Mike Lindell says God will rapture him over voting machines. Gonna miss Mike. I really am. I've known quite a few addicts in my life, and I fear I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a professional when it comes to this, but I fear that Mr. Lindell might have replaced one addiction with another. And I'm speaking about his addiction to politics. I doubt if he'll see this, but Mike, if you're listening, I challenge you to show me any truly political statement Jesus Christ made. He didn't rant. He didn't get up and preach. He didn't get up and talk about the dangers of Herod being king of Israel. He didn't talk about Pontius Pilate being prefect. He was prefect. He didn't talk about the emperor in Rome. When asked about taxes, he said, pay them. So I challenge anyone to show me, with the obvious exception of Revelations, and we'll talk about that on a Coffee with Ald probably tomorrow, to show me where Jesus was political. Just do it. Because you're justifying being political as part of your Christian identity, but it's not. Okay? If I was to give Mr. Lindell or anyone else who feels the way he does advice, it would be to seek therapy. And not because I think you're nuts or anything. I just think you got some issues to work through. And that's just my opinion. It's all alleged. Sue me, I got nothing. Man who threatened to kill election official sentenced to 2.5 years. Okay. Peter Navarro's prison record suggests no early release for RNC convention. Oh, sad. Georgia judge sets hearing to consider dismissing Trump case on free speech grounds. I haven't seen all the evidence. I know people that think that Georgia is going to be the end of him. He's going to go to jail, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the fact of the matter is, I don't know. I haven't seen the evidence, man. Nobody has, except prosecutors, the lawyers, possibly the judge, probably, yeah. We'll see. But what I have heard, while it's pretty obvious to me that he was trying to win Georgia in any way he could, but what I have heard doesn't seem to me, it seems wrong, it doesn't seem illegal. There's a difference between illegal, unethical, and immoral. And I honestly believe what he did was unethical. In Georgia, I'm not convinced it was illegal. But like I said, I haven't seen all the evidence. So I'm willing to wait for the court date. I'm willing to wait to see what 12 of his peers say. And I'm willing to trust God that what's meant to happen is going to happen. None of your business. Trump snaps at reporter asking if he will put cash into campaign. That's none of the reporter's business. Okay? There's been enough stories out there, there's been enough out there that we know that Donald Trump is paying his lawyers from contributions from one of his PACs. If it were illegal, trust me, dude's been arrested 4 times. They'd get him again. Welcome to Belching with Don. Don't have enough. Wealthy Trump allies balk at helping Donald pay legal bills. If you're somebody's ally, you shouldn't balk at stuff. You should help them try to figure out how to handle it. A friend calls me and says, hey, I need help with this. If I just blow him off, it makes me feel bad. It makes me feel bad about myself. It makes me feel bad about what I did to my friend. And I know I put my friend in a position where, they needed me and I wasn't there. So I try to help them come up with an idea. Say, hey, what can we do? Oh, I don't have any money, but is there, what else can we do? Is there some other way we can come up with this? Is there a way we can sit down and talk about it? Trump could use faulty polling. Oh, yeah, we did that one. I don't even know what Trump is leading a top-down conspiracy against constitutional order ex-GOP insider means. Okay, it's going to survive. Legal expert tells Trump appealing gag order is a waste of time. I am all for saying that we have a freedom of the press, but you can't report on a court case until after the case is over. Okay, I don't understand why it's a problem. I don't need to know about Trump's cases. All right, I know that he's got 4. I know he's got 4, and I know that what they're for. That 2 of them come down to election interference, and one's hush money fraud, and the third's the document, or the 4th is the documents case. I know this. Trust me. They tell me every day. Okay? But I don't need to know that this person said that, or there's this, or I think that. Okay? It's the news. Give me news. Stop giving me opinion. Retired SCOTUS judge slams ex-colleagues. Will have a constitution no one wants. Maybe he shouldn't have retired. I don't know. It's a lot easier to say afterwards, hey, y'all are screwing it up. When I was in, we were doing a good job. Situations change. Do I agree with the Supreme Court on everything it's done lately? No. Do I agree with the Supreme Court on everything it's done in its existence? Oh, no. Ketanji Brown Jackson smacks down Samuel Alito's scientific knowledge of abortion drugs. Fairly certain Samuel Alito was trained as a lawyer and has no scientific knowledge whatsoever. I'm fairly certain it is not his colleague's job to smack him down. Okay, commentary. I tend to just totally ignore the opinion piece section. Form my own. Okay, here's the part I like. Favorite section. Science. And I'm going to include it just because it's my favorite. Usually I open happen stories. Australia battles to save last 11 wild, earless dragons. you know I'm opening now. Anything to do with dragons, I'm with. And when we're talking real world, I know I'm going to be disappointed. It's not going to be a giant dragon spouting fire and shit. But I'm still going to read it. Israel's war budget leaves top scientists in limbo. Yeah, that's what happens. If you're not working on weapons, you're a scientist and you're not working on weapons in the country you're in, it's gone to war, you're probably not going to have a whole lot of money to do your science with. What we learned from teaching a course on the science of happiness, not only am I going to open that, but I hope everybody goes to Ross Story and opens that one, because we need to know everything we can about the science of happiness. God intends us to be happy. Okay? He created sadness so that we can appreciate happiness. But he doesn't intend us to stay in a situation. No. God wants us happy, trust me. How can you say that, Alt? You don't know God personally. I got a pretty good idea, buddy. How nature can alter our sense of time. That one's definitely going to get opened. Planting trees in wrong places heats the planet. You know, I can kind of see that. I saw a story about problems they were having with the climate in Arizona because people were planting grass in their yards. Indonesia hunts clues as studies suggest Javan tiger may still exist. Oh, that would be cool. Find that Javan tigers are not gone. Would be nice. I don't. Okay, we'll move on. Plastic chemicals are inescapable, and they're messing with our hormones. Yeah, I am 58, divorced, single. I was told not to tell people I'm divorced, to tell them I'm single. That way they wouldn't think I was. I'm 58. If I'm still single and never been married, hey, something else going on. No offense to anyone that's 58, still married. I'm just saying. Okay. It seems to me like it's more impressive at 58 to say divorced than it is to say single. But okay, so I'm not worried about hormones, and I'm sure other people are. And I'm sorry if that seems mean of me to say. But what am I going to say? Plastic chemicals are inescapable. Okay, we're the architects of our own doom. We had a perfect system. We had a great. Well, we didn't have a perfect system. There's no such thing as perfect. We had a great system. Okay. Everything was. Most of the stuff was glass. It got washed. It got sanitized. It got reused. All right. You paid a 5-cent, 10-cent deposit when you got soda. You got it back when you brought the glass back. We didn't have plastic everywhere. We didn't have plastic filling our bodies. We didn't have plastic. And in the way we do. But Lord forbid we go back. Inside, okay, we're on to the U.S. news. Inside the historic lawsuit, the gun industry and Republicans are on the verge of killing. This previous Sunday we did a gun control. We did a service on gun control. People act like the gun industry is horrible because, I don't know, people don't expect businesses. The major job of most businesses is to make money. It's to sell stuff, is whatever they do, you know? I'm an advertising company. What's your business? Giving away candy. No, it's selling advertising. Okay? You expect Walmart to stand out front and hand out, I don't know, free stuff. Right? They're there to sell stuff. It's going to draw people in and sell it, they'll do it. Sell more, they'll do it. Trust me. But if it isn't, they won't. Okay. Shameful MTG attacks Mike Johnson for horrific choice to keep government open. All right. I got no way. else to say this. Marjorie Taylor Greene, you are a wackadoodle. Trump warned no nonsense judge means to enforce gag order. He has to stay within the line. It's going to cost him money. It's going to cost him money in the thousands. He isn't going to care. Put him in jail for a week, see what happens. After the revolution, of course, because you're going to have people going out on the streets for that. This is what happens. Republican blames deadly Baltimore bridge. This is what happens. Republican blames deadly Baltimore bridge collapse on diversity, because diversity is evil and it's so horrible and causes everything. Yeah. You know what? I was taught in first grade that the United States was a melting pot, and that the entire purpose of the country was to be diverse. So people who don't want to learn about diversity, go somewhere else, please. Let's see what's going on in the world. Olympic flame to burn in front of Louvre Museum during Paris 2024 Games. Cool. Thai Parliament passes same-sex marriage bill. That's cool. That's cool. I'm all for it. I have a theory. If you're a conservative, if you're a fundamentalist Christian, I was raised as a fundamentalist. I'm now Gnostic Christian, for what it's worth, and definitely about as liberal as you can come. But I have a theory that the reason that homosexuality was a sin, if you're a fundamentalist again, that the reason that it was a sin was because extramarital, premarital sex is a sin. The only thing that to me said this is a sin is the fact that it was illegal. Well, it's not anymore. Not in the United States and not in Thai, apparently. In Thailand. I say Thai. And not in Thailand. So to me, it's not a sin then. Okay? Russia blames Kiev West over Moscow gun attack. Of course they do. And I'm going to wait and see what happens. I doubt it seriously, but hey, stranger things have happened. Otani denies betting on baseball. Saddened, shocked by scandal. I think it's a little earlier for me to comment on that. WikiLeaks Julian Assange can take appeal to fresh hearing. UK judges rule. Good. I think WikiLeaks is something that's important, and I think it's important that it's out there. I think governments do too many things in secret, and I think we need watchdogs that are going to say, okay, you did this, you did that. This goes all the way back to the Pentagon Papers, and sure, before that. Migrant transfers from Paris ahead of Olympics anger mayors. Yes, because we have a big event coming, so we want all the homeless people to get out. Okay, we're going to now move to Fox News, and we're going to see what their headlines say. We start with, listen, moment emergency responders knew catastrophe was coming. It's kind of an important story. Gives you an idea if something like this happens in the future, what to expect, things like that. Did they do the right thing? Maybe somebody has a better idea for what kind of emergency response should have happened. Yeah, that's a good story. KGP ends radio interview after economy question, leaves host stunned. Okay. I mean, if you're doing a radio interview, somebody asks you a question, you leave, or you end the interview. There's something going on there. I don't care, but that's me. Illegal thieves cross border with high-tech skimmers, drain American bank accounts. Illegal American citizens are using high-tech skimmers to drain American bank accounts. European high-tech skimmers are using, I'm sorry, European thieves are using high-tech skimmers to drain American bank accounts. Everybody is using skimmers to drain American bank accounts. All right? I'm always amazed by the fact that you'll have a story about how thousands and thousands of people are illegally crossing the border in the U.S. and adjust this a little bit. You'll have a story where thousands of people are crossing the border, and it's so horrible, and then everybody makes a big deal out about one of those guys who did something horrible. 10,000 people came across the border yesterday, and one of them killed somebody. Oh no, we got to stop all of them. Let's see. Bride-to-be sets internet ablaze with a simple text from future father-in-law. That's cool. I'll come back and look at that story. I like anything good like that. Hopefully it is. I'm sure it would be a different headline if it wasn't. While New York arrests homeowners, Florida sheriff sends starkly different message to residents. That's a stand your ground story. If we haven't seen the problem with the stand your ground laws as they've been written, then we're blind. You know, here's the thing. You're possibly for stand your ground laws right up until you're walking somewhere and you're walking down to the convenience store, you ran out of gas, so you got to walk down for gas, and somebody shoots you because you walked in front of their property. Tennis icon makes plea to keep women's sports female. Unfairness is off the charts. I am not touching that with a 10-foot stick. Yes, I am. I was raised in the 70s by 3 feminists, my mother and my 2 sisters, who thought that equal rights was important and we needed the Equal Rights Amendment, and I'm not disagreeing with them at all. However, I am saying one thing. Men and women are not equal. Men and women, let me rephrase that. I'm sorry, that was completely wrong. Men and women are equal. They're completely equal, but they're different. Okay? I've talked in the past about some of the stuff that I've been through with my health, and I can tell you that I have stood in a room 5 times, 6 times, and 5 times, and watched my wife, now ex-wife, give birth. And I can tell you that at no point in my life have I ever experienced the amount of pain that she went through any of those times. But I can still beat her in a race. And I can still pick up more than her, and I'm still stronger than her. So while I believe that all things are possible, I'm kind of with Neil deGrasse Tyson on this, that we do a type of weight class type of thing, and that would work. This isn't going to go away. Okay, the question about trans people being, participating in sports is not going to go away. You're not going to make it go away. Nobody's going to. So let's deal with it. Let's come up with solutions instead of coming up with problems. Whoopi Goldberg gets up during show, calls out audience member, I can see you. Okay? Bud Light continues to fight controversial sponsorship, taps new heavyweight. I'll tell you something. I don't have an issue with the trans influencer Bud Light situation, but you know what? I'm also a strong believer that if you do have a problem with something like that, don't buy Bud Light. If you have an issue with what a company does, don't buy their product. And I'm not saying boycott them. I'm saying on a personal level. All right? I have a general. I'm old. I'm very old, and I'm older than my years. I have a general problem um, with bottled water. Okay, water comes out of the tap. It used to be free because we had a well. Now I have to pay city water. That's fine. Water comes out the tap. There are filtration systems you can buy. There are pitchers with filters in them, and you're not throwing plastic all over the world. And it's silly to pay for water. Mega Millions announced a single winning jack ticket and $1.13 billion jackpot. Well, you go. There you go. Somebody is going to be an extremely happy person because they have $1.13 billion until they find out that money does not buy happiness, it only rents it. Mom accidentally shoots, kills daughter while carrying out normal daily tasks. We're going to open that one. We're going to open that one here because I honestly have to know what normal daily task involves shooting at your child. All right, let's see. Uh, okay. Well, no, we're not going to open that. This is one of the you have to join Fox News. I do not do that. I do not give my email out for things like that because I get inundated and then I have to go through once every couple. I still do, but every couple of weeks I have to go through my email, and I'm sure everybody does. Unsubscribe from stuff that I didn't realize I was subscribing to. Should Biden cave to Mexican president's $20 billion demand? Americans give their thoughts. I actually haven't seen this story yet. It's for immigration. I am fairly certain that if immigration was something that the U.S. could control by itself, we would have. I keep getting this impression that people think that the average liberal Democrat believes that we should just open the borders and let everybody walk across. And I do know a few people who believe that. That's not what it is. What it is called being compassionate. It's called people are having a hardship and want something better, and we're offering something better. We work so hard to make America what it is, to make it a beautiful place where everybody everybody has that opportunity to succeed. We don't think that other countries don't have that and that their people maybe want to come here to get it, and that we should not be greedy with it. We should hand it out. Although I do believe that if they stayed in their country and worked towards it, they could probably make things better in their country. But I still get it. If you don't have a job and your kids are feeding, you can go across this border and get a job and feed your kids. You go across the border and you feed your kids. And if people can't understand that, they got some compassion issues that they need to work out. Let's see. Man dies after Harley Davidson motorcycle test ride takes horrific turn. That's sad. Hopefully his comfort to his family and friends. Day after feds raid his home, Sean Diddy Combs breaks silence about incident. I'm not going to read that because neither side's any of my business. Ronna McDaniel's abrupt NBC ousting reinforces network's stance on Biden critics. Okay. Distillery using groundbreaking tech to create limited edition whiskey. If I liked whiskey, that would be an interesting one. And we're coming up on 45 minutes, and Fox News is great, but their front page goes forever. So I'm going to stop there. Um, Look, the fact of the matter is, like it or not, most of this stuff doesn't matter. And it's not all clickbait. Some of it is there legitimately so that it can change your mind about something. And that's cool. Some of it's to inform. I miss the days when a newspaper was to inform and had an opinion page where opinions were spouted, but news was spouted everywhere else. Now, the entire things are becoming opinion pieces. Honestly, if you think you're getting your news from Morning Joe or from Fox and Friends, you're getting a tiny bit. All right? You're mostly getting opinions. You're mostly getting people telling you what they think and hoping that you'll agree with it. And that's not what the news is. That's opinion pieces. Okay? Fact of the matter. This has all been opinions. This has all been my opinions. But as we come to an end of it, I hope that you've enjoyed it. Please click the like button if you did. Subscribe for more comment. And above all else, I would love to hear in the comments section your opinions, your thoughts, comments, what you think I was right about, what you think I was wrong about, why you think I was wrong about most of it. Now, I really would love to hear from you. And sending out God's love to everyone. And I'm just going to point out real quick that if you go to our channel, you're going to find stuff like our daily prayer, daily devotion, Bible Bite, 30-second scripture, our daily coffee with Ald, and our daily Gnostic quote, as well as other things. On Sunday morning and Sunday night, we have a virtual service. We also have one midweek and Wednesday. In the near future, I'm still working on it, we will be adding a Bible study on, probably on to Thursday mornings. I'm kind of designing the channel around the schedule of the church that I was raised in. We did not have Sunday night services on Sunday, but it makes it easier for me. Anyway, I hope you join us again as I rant and rave, and we will talk to you real soon. God bless you and keep you and take care of you, and I hope that all of the news headlines in your life are happy, positive news headlines.